Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to Revolutionary Hour, where we take the madness of the world and give it a comedic twist because, well, if we didn't laugh, we cry. Today, we're diving into the 2024 U.S. election, and let me tell you, it's already a circus. You got candidates swinging left, right, and center, promising the moon but forgetting they're still standing on Earth, and they're all acting like they're about to save us when half of them couldn't even save their Wi-Fi connection. So buckle up, because today we're talking about hilarious presidential candidates, the tragic irony of black folks rallying behind a prosecutor with a questionable past, and the fact that, surprise, the popular vote doesn't even count. Yeah, you heard that right. It's all a part of the same show, folks. Plus, we're bringing in some laughs about how we're still counting on Cornel West to save us while the rest of the candidates fumble their way through the campaign trail. So let's start with the 2024 presidential candidates. It's like reality TV but worse because this one is real. You got politicians making wild promises like they're contestants on The Price is Right, offering up new health care, better wages, and justice for all. One candidate even promised to bring back trust in government, which is hilarious because they're the reason we don't trust them in the first place. But no, the fact check here is even funnier. Kamala Harris, who's running to fix the country, could actually fix half of it right now. She's the vice president, y'all, but you wouldn't even know it by how little she's done. Kamala promises all this change and reform, but the irony is she's already in a position to do something about it. She's like the fireman who shows up with water but waits for the whole house to burn down before stepping in. She could literally fix everything right now, but we're still waiting. It's like going to a mechanic who says, I can fix your brakes, but let's wait until your car crashes first. And let's not forget the other candidates, each of them throwing around promises like confetti. The debates, they're basically improv comedy at this point. 1 minute they're talking about healthcare, and the next they're basically roasting each other's ties. Now let's talk about something even crazier. Black folks, my people, let's have a moment. How did we get here? Supporting a prosecutor who metaphorically hung black people out to dry with the California justice system? Yeah, I'm talking about Kamala Harris. You remember her, right? Prosecutor, Attorney General of California, aka Top Cop. I get it. She's black and she's a woman. And representation matters, but come on. This is like hiring the Fox to watch the hen house. Did you know that under Kamala's leadership, California's prison population exploded? Even worse, some of the people she locked up were innocent. Yeah, innocent. Imagine that. People losing their freedom so the state could use them for cheap labor. She was so dedicated to keeping prisons full, it's like she was running her own version of Survivor behind bars. Except nobody volunteered to be on this show. And now, we're expected to just ignore her past? That's like voting for a vegetarian to run your barbecue joint. And now, somehow, she's a beacon of hope for Black America. It's like we collectively forgot the time she locked up black mothers for their kids skipping school. Instead of finding ways to support families, she doubled down on punishment. I swear, it's like watching someone hand out parking tickets at a funeral. Now, do you want to know what the real kick of the teeth is? Let's say you go through all the trouble of researching candidates, waiting in line for hours, casting your vote, and guess what? Your vote doesn't even count. I mean, sure, you voted, but that popular vote is just there for decoration. Kind of like how the big gulp cup at 7-Eleven is technically supposed to be one drink, but you know you're going to go back for a refill, and you ain't going to pay. But why? The Electoral College, the thing we all learned about in school but never really understood. The Electoral College is like letting your 5 drunk uncles at Thanksgiving decide what's for dinner. The majority might want turkey, but the uncles say, nah, we having mac and cheese. And don't ask why. Now, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that in 2016, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by 2.87 million votes? That's more than the entire population of Jamaica. But guess what? Donald Trump still became president. And speaking of Trump, this man survived 2 assassination attempts. 2! He must have the luck of a cockroach in a nuclear blast because no matter what you throw at him, he keeps coming back. They tried to take him out and he was like, nah, buddy, I'm not leaving. It's like he's auditioning for Die Hard 6, the election never ends. Now here's the wild part, y'all. We've known this for years, but we just keep playing along. The candidates know the popular vote doesn't matter, but they still act like it's the end-all be-all of the election. It's like I'm watching a magician who keeps pulling rabbits out of a hat even though you know there's a hole in the bottom. We're all in on the trick, but we keep clapping. Meanwhile, we've got Cornel West, the man, the myth, the legend, running for president.
Burma people for 400 years have been terrorized, traumatized, and hated, and we dish out love warriors and freedom fighters every generation, which means that we stand in solidarity with anybody who's occupied, anybody who's subjugated, anybody who's exploited, and that's why we focus on Gaza at this moment, because a genocidal attack is taking place.
Yeah. And let's be real, Cornel has always been the guy standing up for black people. While the other candidates were too busy throwing parties and dodging questions, Cornel West was out there in the streets fighting for justice. He got the resume, the experience, and the righteous anger to back it up. Fact check. Cornel has been in the trenches from marching with Black Lives Matter to standing up for the poor and disenfranchised for decades. He doesn't flip-flop like a politician on a windy day. This guy has been consistent. He's like the civil rights version of Denzel Washington. Solid, reliable, and always giving Oscar-worthy performances. But here's the problem. While Cornel's out there with the truth, the mainstream media barely mentions him. It's like having a real superhero in the middle of a Marvel movie, but the camera is stuck on the sidekicks. So what now? Well, if you're voting in the 2024 election, just know that you're a part of the most expensive talent show on earth. You got candidates performing for your approval, except the audience doesn't actually get to decide the winner. It's like The Voice, but instead of spinning chairs, we got red states and blue states. And somewhere in the background, Cornel West is trying to break through the noise, while Trump is gearing up for yet another reality TV worthy comeback. At the end of the day, what do? We laugh, we joke, but we also remember that this is the system we've got. And the more we understand it, the more we can fight to change it. Until then, enjoy the show because the 2024 election is going to be wild. But that's it for today's Revolutionary Hour, folks. Remember, life is serious enough. Sometimes you gotta laugh through the madness. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends. Peace, love, and unity. We out.